Baik, kita melihat di peringkat antarabangsa kini, krisis yang melanda Ukraine telah membawa kepada keadaan ekonomi pemulihan yang begitu sukar sekali. Perjalanan pemulihan ekonomi ini diburukkan lagi dengan peningkatan inflasi yang mendadak dan segala sekatan yang dikenakan negara barat ke atas Rusia juga memburukkan lagi situasi bekalan minyak sekaligus meningkatkan keadaan inflasi dan di setengah negara sudah menyaksikan stagflasi berlaku pada ketika ini. Itu yang saya bincangkan pada jam ini. Dalam keadaan stagflasi dan juga inflasi ini, bagaimanakah dasar moneter dia akan dibuat dan apakah peranan yang perlu dimainkan oleh pelabur dalam membuat keputusan mereka? Saya nak bersama dengan Shan Saeed, Ketua Pakar Ekonomi Juwai AQI. Shan, good morning. Happy Ramadan, Shan.
Thank you very much. Happy Ramadan to everyone in Malaysia.
All right, Shan, first of all the global media are talking about the stagflation, interest rates hike, and also runaway inflation, recession, and also the inverted yield curve and geopolitical risks. Do you think inflation will be over this year? And I know that you have said that the global economy won't recover before 2025, and we are in 1970s era of stagflation.
Yes, the simple answer is no. Inflation is here to stay. And inflation will get more serious as the geopolitical risk and printing money will continue. If you look at in the last 15 years, Fed's balance sheet in 2008 was around $800 billion. By 2013, it was 4.7. And by the spring of 2020, it already touched $8 trillion. So when you print money and the velocity of money goes up, eventually it will have serious repercussions in the market. And inflation has become so serious that Fed has lost control of the market. And what I foresee in the next 6 to 12 months, the markets will not believe what the Fed is saying, and it will create more shenanigans and it will create more uncertainty as Fed is moving from QE to QT. And again, whenever Fed has moved from QE to QT, quantitative tightening, it has created a lot of ripples in the market. Just 4 years back, if you recall, in October 2018, when Fed mentioned that we are moving from quantitative tightening to quantitative easing, the market lost 20% just in a span of 3 months. So I think they will continue to create havoc for the market, and that's why most of the mainstream media have now realized that Fed has lost control of the market, and it will create a lot of impact not only in the US market but across the world. So we are in for tough times, and Fed will create more shenanigans.
Shan, the Wall Street Journal reported last week that yield curve is inverted, especially 2-year and also 10-year. And also we look at the Economist magazine is sharing the same situation. Are the markets getting prepared for this? But the Fed is thinking otherwise. But do you think that the Fed has lost the market inflation? I know you mentioned just now, but inflation and sending wrong signals to the market in terms of the Fed?
Absolutely, Najib. The way things are moving, the markets are prepared. Whenever you have inverted yield curve, especially in the 2s and the 10s, it's a signal that Fed is not doing the right work. And the homework they have done, the monetary policy, the economic modeling has failed miserably. And whenever you have inverted yield curve, the investors, they have one thing in the mind, that economic outlook is quite challenging. There will be loss, and whenever you have policy error, the economic cost is very high, and who bears the economic cost? Obviously the consumers and investors in the end. So as you rightly pointed out, in the Economist magazine, they are sharing that investors are ready and they foresee tough times ahead. And Fed is, I think, is living in delusion of grandeur. They don't know what to do because they have lost control of the market. And Jerome Powell has admitted last month that, we should have done all these things 2 years back, and they haven't done it. So market is in for a rough ride, and markets are in a mood, and markets are whistling past the graveyard, and investors will suffer in the end.
And also, Shan, Economist magazine also last week, they talk about can the Fed pull off an immaculate immaculate disinflation. But do you agree or disagree on this?
I'm glad that Economist magazine is using GMAT vocabulary by saying immaculate disinflation. In my opinion, Fed cannot control this inflation. The policy error has been made and the economic cost is very high. They should have done it in 2018. It's very easy to create inflation by depreciating your currency. And many economists in 2018 and 2019 advised Fed that they should do it. But at that time, Jerome Powell said that stronger dollar is good for US economy. In fact, is the other way around. Stronger dollar is bad for US economy and stronger dollar hurts the global trade. So I think by saying that Fed will pull off immaculate disinflation, slow growth in inflation, I think it's pretty difficult because Fed is losing control and markets are looking at recession, and recession is knocking the doors of US economy and many advanced economies going forward.
Also, Shan, how investors take position in various asset classes when rate hikes become inevitable?
Yes, Forbes magazine in 2022 January, they came up with this article which is quite relevant in the current circumstances, that in the last 22 years, Fed has created 3 rate hikes from June 99 to June 2000. Second one was from June 2004 to July 2006. Third one from December 2015 to January 2019. In all these 3 hikes, some of the asset classes that have come out quite significantly and they have emerged as as investors' radar. Global commodities went up by 25.9%, REITs went up by 10.8%, gold went up by 12.8%, large cap stocks went by 10.4%. Large caps value stock went up by 6.8% and bonds went up by 3.1%. So clearly it signifies that investors are interested in tangible asset class. And if you see, history has taught us, especially in stagflation, whenever you have stagflation or whenever you have interest rate high, investors have gone into tangible assets, that is real estate, gold, silver, arts, oil and gas, farmland. So all these asset classes will remain on the global investors' radar, and things will get pretty rough if Fed raises the interest rate by 50 basis points next month.
But what do you expect? Do you think that the Fed will increase the rate by 15 percentage point next month?
Yes, Najib, it looks inevitable because they want to, everybody's talking about there will be 6 rate hikes this year. And Fed will realize the markets and the economy, US economy can't take the pressure of higher interest rate. They will go back from quantitative tightening to quantitative easing. I don't know which number, 5, 6, 7. It looks that quantitative easing will go to infinity and the markets will come back and then markets will get some breather. For this year, it will be a rough year. We are here for tumultuous times.
It's not that easy to be at the Fed right now, given that all the facts and also the data that we've seen right now, the stagflation and also the other economic data. But what do you think that the Fed should do in this kind of situation?
I think Fed should have done all these policies 4 years back in 2018. And in the last 20 years, Fed has been wrong about market. They have been behind the curve. And Economist magazine in 2015 came up with this article on October 25th issue, and the title of that article was Funny Numbers, when Janet Yellen was a chair. And they said the markets are not accepting, what Janet Yellen is sharing, and it has become a statistical illusion. So I think the markets are not believing what Fed is saying, and they are discounting, huge numbers, and I think the market will have rough ride.
Alright, Shan, thank you so much for joining us this morning. Shan Saeed membincangkan tentang bagaimanakah strategi untuk pelabur dan juga pelaburan di kala stagflation yang berlaku pada ketika ini, dan kita melihat kepada kesukaran membuat dasar moneter di Amerika Syarikat dan kesan berantainya sudah pasti akan dirasai oleh peringkat negara di peringkat global di seluruh dunia pada ketika ini. Baik, kita akan berhenti rehat seketika, kita akan kembali selepas ini.